one of your strengths is also, the economy, and I wanted to talk to you about the Naira, and I think I will just stay on the Naira. When you look at what's happening, the Naira to the dollar, it is biting really hard on people. The prices of things are increasing every other day, especially in this season now that, it's Christmas and New Year. What should we do, or what should the government be doing now to just in general language, if I will use the word help in that language, the Naira get back to at least when it was 700 or 750 against the dollar?
Well, what we have to do right now is the former administration, the previous administration, Muhammadu Buhari's administration, made some very terrible mistakes. They should have floated the Naira. They didn't float the Naira, and they kept on spending $1.5 billion every month defending the Naira. Now, this administration has taken the right steps. It's taken the right steps to float the Naira. However, the president has to be more assertive. I know right now he has a governor of the central bank in place, and probably he wants to give them independence, but he's got to be more assertive. You, as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, you do not take directives from the president, but you take guidance. You can take guidance from the president. If I were the president, I would have called the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and say, look, you have to deny forex or foreign exchange or any kind of, license to any government agency that wants to patronize a foreign good or service over a Nigerian goods or service. Take, for instance, the National Assembly going to buy those SUVs from out of the country. Look, if I were the president, I would have put pressure on the Central Bank of Nigeria to make it impossible, not cooperate with them. When we begin to patronize made in Nigeria goods and services, then we're going to see the Naira, because right now the Naira is being floated. The laws of demand and supply are solely responsible for the value of Naira. So by the time we begin to change our consumption habits, then we're not going to see the kind of movement in the Naira that we want to see. And the citizenry, the people, for this kind of, behavior to trickle down, they want to see it in their government. When you tell the people of Nigeria to buy made in Nigerian goods and they are seeing the National Assembly spend so much money buying foreign goods, it's not going to encourage them. The president failed in that regard as far as I'm concerned, and it's something that he can correct. Because the National Assembly, these are people, you do not have sufficient patriotism in the National Assembly for this kind of, pro-Nigeria stance to take place. You've got, options in Nigeria. You've got Innocent. They could have bought those vehicles from Innocent. Now, that is the part of the government. For the people of Nigeria, are, we do not want to do the right things. We want to eat our cake and have it. Currently in Nigeria, 76.7 million people use MTN. Another 45 million people use Airtel. You cannot have 130 million Nigerians spending $20 million every day that is going to South Africa and India, and yet you want the Naira to appreciate. It cannot happen. There's an option. Why can't you use Glo? If you have those 130 million Nigerians using Glo, if they start using Glo tomorrow, I'm telling you, immediately it's going to have a positive impact on the value of the Naira. The value of the Naira is just going to explode immediately. So you see, even if you have Nigerians, even in their dressing habits, Nigerians, we like to wear Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Now, wealthy Nigerians, elite Nigerians should begin to change their consumption habits, from the president to the governors to the Senate president to legislators. Start dressing Nigerian. Spend your money in Nigeria. That's going to make the Naira improve. And then finally, I'm going to say this also. This is very important. We need to have a policy in place whereby there is some kind of tax, punitive tax for government institutions and the private sector that patronize foreign goods and services. For instance, if you are a minister or a member of the ministries, departments, and agencies, and you are flying to a route that Air Peace can fly, they actually have planes going that route, but you choose to fly British Airways, then you should be made to pay a tax. Whether you're in the private sector or in the public sector, you should be made to pay a tax. We should patronize made in Nigeria goods and services, and that's the only way that Naira can appreciate.
And many people will say, look, they agree with you, because when you watch American movies, there's this deliberate this deliberate intent, or this is intention, is very intentional when they position their brands. You hardly find them use phones in their movies that are not made in America, or cars that are not made in America. Very intentional. But some people will also say, look, for network, for example, I'm going to use the one that provides the best service for me. and I'm going to use the one that has the best network in my area. It's not necessarily about whether it's a Nigerian brand or not. It's just what works where I live at the moment and what, offers me the best services in terms of data and calls. And that's basically how it works. And so if we have to patronize made in Nigerian products, they have to be an upscaling. And so where should that come from? Is it those who are manufacturing or these goods and services, or from the government enabling them to thrive?
That's why I said that Nigerians want to eat their cake and have it. The only way that a company provides better goods and services is by patronage. So by the time you begin to patronize them more, their revenue increases and they're able to plow back their revenue and profit to have better products and better services. So you have to have sacrifice. You've got to have people saying, okay, we're going to sacrifice. If you look at India had a company called Tata. Tata was a very, poor in terms of service delivery. If you look at what they call keke in Nigeria, they call keke marwa and all of that. That's what Tata used to do. But Indians deliberately said, okay, you know what? We've got better alternatives from the West, but we're going to patronize Tata. That's patriotism. We're going to patronize Tata. And then eventually Tata became so good that now Tata is now the #1 provider of railway services in the United Kingdom, not India, in the United Kingdom. Tata is so good that when India, 3 months ago, when they landed a spacecraft in the moon, Tata was part of the people that provided the technical expertise. So I know that Glo probably might not be as good as MTN and Airtel, but as a Nigerian, if you love Nigeria, if you love the Naira, you want the Naira to appreciate, then you've got to make that, look at what I'm using, sacrifice. You've got to make that sacrifice. Without sacrifice, there's not going to be progress. I know that maybe Toyota and Nissan might make better vehicles than Innocent, but you've got to sacrifice and patronize Innocent. Don't say to yourself that, oh, he's one Igbo man. Even if he's an Igbo man, buy Igbo made. I'm very upset. Am I still there? Can you hear me?
Yes, you are. You are.
Yeah, I'm very upset when I watched NAFDAC and then they caught some people. I think they were making fake wines and then they were making some fake pharmaceuticals and then they arrested them, they threw them in jail. That is not the way a nation grows. Those people, what you do is that you get them and you say, okay, look, you are able to make fake wines, you're able to make fake pharmaceutical grade medicine. What do you need to create a genuine one, an authentic one? Is it that maybe you need training so that you know how to register a company, you know how to register a patent? And then that's how you begin to help your own, local people build your own